Oh boy. Guess things are getting riskier and riskier. You know, makes me think about that situation. Was it last month, a month before, where someone had a pew pew trained on an ICE vehicle and pew pewed and got the illegals rather than the agents. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. They don't need to be doing that. They do not need to be going after ICE like that. Then I think it was either this morning or yesterday morning, I saw something where ICE agents had to break a dude's glass and yanked him out of his car. I think he was doing the same thing as the lady was that got the other day that everyone's protesting about. Now I'm hearing about him getting rammed. Being an ICE agent is not an easy job. I know people in law enforcement. I have a friend in law enforcement, high up in law enforcement. And yeah, he told me about some wild stuff and how, like, he doesn't go certain places because certain places he hasn't been masked. And certain areas, people may know who he is. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't deal with that. But that's my buddy. I guess he wanted his badassery card and he's got it. But yeah. I guess with stuff like this, they're willing to ram them. Shoot, they showed their faces. People would try to get them when they off duty and everything, just like a lot of people in other law enforcement areas. I see no problem with the masks. I think people use that as a way to twist it and call them cowards or something like that. Like, they're a branch of law enforcement, or whatever you want to call it, a subsection, that are removing illegal migrants or immigrants, whatever you want to say. And a lot of them are going to be violent. People have done stuff here and would be willing to do violence to stay here. So, yeah, very interesting and wild job. I wouldn't want it. But let's see what happens right here.
Open the window.
They tell you to get out. Get out.
Watch out behind you. Watch out. Holy. Watch out in front of you. Watch out in front.
And he reversed again, trying to push the truck. And he rammed the car in the front now. Man. Got him.
With reaction, ICE Director Todd Lyons. Todd, I mean, if that doesn't educate the public about these ramming incidents, I don't know what else will.
I assume there will be someone that justifies it, just like people will often justify things on the other side. I already told you I'm a person that thinks that she shouldn't have tried to run and he shouldn't have shot her. That's what I believe and how I feel. Now, when I saw the footage from the angle of the agent himself, when she went to go at first, from that angle, that really looked like she was going to mow him down. That did. And I understand why he shot the first shot into the windshield. But after that, shooting from the side, he didn't have to do that. Now, many have said, well, the reason why he kept shooting was because he was protecting others, also other officers that could be in the way, and pedestrians by stopping her the way he did, because she already showed that she was dangerous, because she clipped him in the leg or hip or whatever it was with her car. Plus, he had already been through it before where he was dragged, so he was probably extra jumpy and itchy. You know what I'm saying? So, I my whole thing is I always look at the root. She shouldn't have been there obstructing, agitating, bothering people. Her girlfriend shouldn't have been there running her mouth, talking trash, agitating people. And then you go to do something. When they tell you to get out the car, get out the car. It'd be a whole lot easier for you. Instead, you decide to run. You know what I'm saying? But the whole incident is a shame. And it didn't have to happen. Now, this right here, same thing. Didn't have to happen. Don't come to another country illegally. And then once you're caught, now you tried to run. And in doing so, you rammed the car in the front and you rammed the car in the back twice, which could have hurt or severely, you know what I'm saying? It could have offed someone, especially the one, because the one in the front, you definitely rammed the driver's side. You ram the driver's side, you can take somebody. Let me tell you something. I was in a car accident one time. How many car accidents was I in my life? I think three. One, I was going on onto the highway, and some lady stopped in front of me. And if you know how the timing is, she should have went. She went, and then she stopped. I'm looking at traffic. I assume she went after I saw her. She actually stopped. So then I hit her. So whatever, we took care of that. But one, I was in a car accident with my boys. My boy, he pulled across the highway. The street was wet. And I guess he floored it a little bit too much. And that thing just kept spinning and fishtailing. It hit the median. And I could see the median coming. And I was in the back seat. It happened so fast to this day. I don't remember even hitting my head. But I hit my head against the side of the car because I'm in the back seat. So when he hit the median, boom. I thought we were going to be okay. I was like, damn, he's going to hit. But boom, when he hit, oh my God. The pain and the numbness in my body, and it made my eyes roll up in my head like they were scared. Both of my boys sitting up front, they were scared. They thought I was done. But I came out of it, and I was okay. But never went to the hospital for that either. Nothing but, man. So basically what I'm saying is something that I thought was going to be a rather minor hit and a median ended up having so much more power than I ever thought it would have. And you go around ramming people's cars, and you might think to yourself, well, they're protected by the car. I ain't going to take them out. Maybe I could just hit them and keep moving. But you don't know what their intentions were. You know what I'm saying? I'm being, advocate here, trying to say, well, maybe they're just trying to ram the car and get away, not really trying to see, and that's the whole thing. Don't really know what their intentions are sometimes. Especially if they were already criminals, they might not have gave a damn. They might have been willing to do anything and everything to get away.
Top of what happened, previously we now have 3 in recent days. Very dangerous now. Do you tie a lot of this danger to the rhetoric of people like Tim Walz, who compares ICE to Gestapo?
Yeah, Sean, unfortunately, when we hear elected officials calling upon individuals to impede or obstruct, ICE law enforcement operations nationwide, you're going to see incidents like this. And that was a video you're probably not going to see on mainstream media, right, that actually shows exactly what's happened. You saw the officers and agents attempting to apprehend a criminally illegal alien, and there they are using their car as a weapon. the lead vehicle, the ICE vehicle, the gray one that was struck, that officer had to go to the hospital with neck
So I
injuries.
thought.
And every day, Sean, this is what the men and women of ICE are facing. It's constant impediments, constant attacks like this. And, you know, it's not safe for my folks. It's not safe for the public. It really needs to
I'm
stop.
not thinking about it. I was in more than 3 accidents. I was in more like 5 of them. One time, a dude's truck hit my car from the back. One time, this rich dude in his Jaguar tore the front off my Honda Civic, speeding down the highway, and blamed it on me and got away with it. In Marlton, New Jersey, and got away with it. The woman I hit the lady when I was in the car with my boys. Damn, then one time I was going down the highway and this lady didn't look before she went to move over to the right and just hit me. Boom. That one. Man. I was in a few. I'm gonna have to go down and count how many I was in. Wow.
What do you make of these groups that have what instructions on how to confront and basically fight with ICE agents? You know, they call it a micro antifada, and I can go into all the details.
Never heard of that
but
before.
I'm sure you're closely aware of it. I mean, but we're talking about a strategy laid out by groups of people to make your jobs harder and obstruct justice. Should those people be arrested?
You know, 100%, Sean. Any law enforcement officer will tell you, you know, it's your constitutional right, go out there and protest. But when you have organized criminal gangs, which these are, that are organizing these groups to, again, impede or...
Yeah, and I saw that clip the other day. Was there really a police chief crying because 2 violent offenders were taken down? I was like, I ain't never seen nothing like this before. In all the time I've been watching the news, which isn't a whole lot, I've never seen a police officer cry about violent criminals getting taken out. I've never seen that before.
Obstruct law enforcement operations, lawful law enforcement agents, you know, enacting the laws that Congress has written. That's a criminal act. And I will tell you that Homeland Security investigations, my folks, the FBI, we're investigating these, and people are going to be held accountable because you can't organize groups to go out and impede law enforcement. It's a criminal act, and we have to act swiftly to cause this from spreading.
Do you have a response?
Yeah, people need to stop fighting over whether something's a felony or a misdemeanor too. They're both criminal acts, and you don't need to be doing them.
To Philadelphia's DA threatening to prosecute ICE agents, which, by the way, is not constitutional. But putting that aside, do you have a response for that DA?
Yeah. So people are fighting over whether something's constitutional or not. That's not constitutional, and they want to do that. Okay.
You know, Sean, what I'll say is the men and women of ICE, the men and women of ERO, the men and women of HSI, they're not committing any crimes. So he doesn't have to worry about arresting any of my folks because what we're doing is we're enforcing the law. We are out there every day making this nation and his city safe again. So he shouldn't worry about the men and women of ICE. What he should worry about is the sanctuary policies that have these criminal aliens go back to his neighborhoods and commit heinous crimes. He should focus on those and let law enforcement do law enforcement work.
All right, Director Lyons, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Man, dangerous for ICE, man. Dangerous. I've also heard that, ICE said that they would start removing the violent offenders first. But according to ICE's numbers, the majority that have been removed have been non-violent offenders. But they said that when they're going for the violent offenders, if the non-violent offenders are there or in the area, they're getting taken too. So I'm going to assume that the majority of illegal immigrants here are non-violent. I think I've met a few. I think I know a few, possibly. But if that's the case, It is what it is. They're both crimes. You know what I'm saying? Commit a crime to come in. Every day that you stay, it's a continued crime. Or you're also a violent offender and committed another crime. You come in, and while you're here, you're committing other violent crimes. Like, you see what I'm saying? You want the violent ones out faster, but still, you have to understand, there's something illegal to come here. You skip the line. People from your own countries, all types of people from your own countries are like, you skipped the line. You should have waited like we did. Like I said, two I feel bad for. The two types of people I feel bad for that are illegal are the children, because they didn't choose this, and the people that were bussed in by Biden, the Biden administration. Like, come on in. Yeah, everything's just fine. Just vote for Joe Biden. I feel bad for them because they were sold a dream, so, and that's not right. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my commentary, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share.